Happy Tuesday, everyone. It was happy until a second ago. I was almost through making an awesome video. Someone called, boom, video stopped. In hindsight, I realized I rambled too long. So, today I'm going to talk about something that was, and still is, a big accomplishment for me. Before I go into why and all of this, that, and the other, what inspired me was my favorite channel on YouTube. It's another small mental health advocacy channel called Willow's Whimsies. I would recommend it to anyone that wants to talk about addiction and recovery, depression, and man, I don't know how well, gosh, let me get my vocabulary somewhere right. If her life, if she is able to categorize it and put it together as well as she presents, then for me that is goals. That is why she's my favorite channel. She mentions different ways to better your health, like I said, addiction, recovery, goals. She brings a lot to the community, in my opinion. Yesterday I watched a video. Apparently, she and I have knitting in common. For me, it is a coping skill. I don't have much of an attention span, so all I knit is scarves. I do it on looms, needle, with a knitting needle and everything, because I don't know how to do the 2-needle thing. And just so you know, okay, a bundle of yarn, it's called a skein. I didn't know that. I'm like skein. Yeah, it's a skein of yarn. And since I don't use 2 knitting needles, ergonomically designed knitting needle, you can get a bundle of 2 of those for like $3 at Walmart. Now, since I don't use 2 knitting needles, I use what's called a loom. L-O-O-M, a loom. This is a little scarf I'm starting for my sister. It's not very thick because we live in Alabama. And yeah, it's taken me about 4 tries. Just the attention span thing. But about 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, I found this cool yarn. It was thick. I have a niece in Canada where it gets extremely cold too often and for just too many months out of the year. And when I bought it, I'm thinking, wow, this is so cool. I had no idea what it would look like once it was, made into a scarf. And I also didn't realize that, I knew I was working with thick yarn, but I didn't realize I was working with braided yarn. So this is, I have no idea how many little individual threads go into this little braided leftovers cat toy, basically now. Skeins. I also didn't realize that one skein was only going to make 1 foot. Yeah. So, with a short attention span, and the fact that oh my God, it was so hard to work with that, even with a loom. I mean, you talk about killing the carpal tunnel, even if you don't have carpal tunnel. It was like, that has to be what it's like to have carpal tunnel. Anyway, without further ado, this is, I could have never hoped for anything more amazing. So, the scarf took, like I said, about 2.5 years to complete. And I still haven't gotten it mailed to her in Canada. She's been through 2 winters that she could have had this scarf. And I'm not real happy about it, but maybe I'll get it sent to her before this coming up winter. I have a few months. This bad boy's 6 feet long. Tell me that is not coolness. Oh yeah, oh yeah, check it. And it just keeps getting more and more amazing. It's like I could never have guessed. I had no idea that it would be so beautiful. And I don't know, I really don't know what, with a basic filter, what colors you guys see, how brilliant the colors are. But it is very, the colors are very saturated, and it's just, gosh, amazing. I have to send that to her. Somebody put in the comments, send to your niece in Canada. Stop procrastinating. She deserves it. Anyway, that knitting is a great coping skill for me when I'm overwhelmed and my mind is racing and I just can't rein it in. I can't slow it down. I can pick up that knitting needle and that yarn and knit for a little while, and a lot of times the anxiety will pass. In correlation to addiction, they tell you when you're in recovery, if all of a sudden you know it's hitting you, you're this close to a relapse. If you can get through 10 to 15 minutes, that craving and that urge will pass. For me, knitting 10 or 15 minutes, just trying to concentrate on knitting, it will help the anxiety some. Not every time, sometimes not as much as I want, but sometimes it is a great tool in what I consider to be my arsenal. Because with mental illness, I feel like it's war. Me against myself, myself, my negative self-talk, oh, you need to lose weight. Duh, I'm going to go and knit a little bit so that I don't focus on the fact that I weigh a lot more than I want to. Or, my loved ones, their struggles, my struggles. Whatever gets you through the day. Knitting for me, laughter. Laughter is great. And I love the fact that at least for a few hours after I take my psych meds in the morning, when that antidepressant and that mood stabilizer and that nerve medication all come together, it's like, the planets have aligned. God has shined a heavenly light down right on me, and all is well for a little while. I hope you guys have those little whiles. Like I said, I don't have many good days, as in from sun up to sundown, but I have great moments every day. And I wanted to share that with you. Accomplishments should be celebrated, and I'm so proud of that scarf. So I'm hoping that I will get to accomplish and celebrate sending this to my lovely Hootie Booty. Yes, that's what I call her. And because she was born when I was, I believe, 16, she calls me Hootie Mama. So, Hootie Booty, if you see this, I love you, and eventually you will get your scarf. To anyone else, celebrate your accomplishments. They are huge. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. I'm going to tell you that until I get it through my thick skull that I am beautiful and I am loved and that I am worthy of love. I'm going to keep reminding you and myself of that, because there is a lot of strength in words. Negative talk and positive talk. So guess what? For right now, you and I are beautiful. You and I are wonderful. You and I are worthy of love. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. so love these birds. So, as I close out each time, mwah, smooches, deuces, and have a wonderful day. Talk to you again soon.